I remember the time my grandmother got her first smartphone ever. Her reaction was epic. She was intimidated, at the same time confused. She looked at her smartphone like it was some foreign alien artifact. Like, what is this thing? And that's the moment that she said, "What was wrong with my last phone? My normal old keypad phone?" And that moment made me realize she wasn't alone. She wasn't alone in her age group to think like that. It wasn't just her who was resistant or hesitant to using new smartphones, new technologies, but there must be millions who first must have felt that fear or confusion while using the smartphones. But gradually, with their usage, they have come a long way. How many of you have phones here? Please raise your hands. Everybody. And how many of you have smartphones? Please raise your hands. Everybody again. And is there anybody with a normal keypad phone here? Please raise your hands. I see no one in the room. And that's the answer. Because today, in the current status quo, we see that technology has come a long way. But with technology, there has been certain innovations. In fact, not just certain, but many in different fields. And at the time when every innovation had come, at some point or the other, it was first resisted. From printing machines to electricity to internet to even artificial intelligence. At first, people were hesitant to use it. People felt fearful. But gradually, with time, they realized that maybe it wasn't that bad, started to accept it, to actualize it, and if not accept it, they gradually are on the way of being accepted. And this is the world we are living in today. Reflecting back to the story of my grandmother, who was totally confused on using her smartphone, that was that one story in my life that made me realize and to think more about it. How many of people have actually thought about it that way, that we feel scared of using technology first? For any innovation, we feel scared. We feel very hesitant and fearful of using it. And to be fearful, that's not our fault. And neither is it something that we need to be blamed for. It's a common human tendency. So in this talk today, I would like you and I to explore why we resist innovation in technology, how we can embrace it, and how we can adapt faster to it. Now, primarily coming to the main focus of the topic here, fear, anxiousness, nervousness, anxiety. These are certain adjectives that I've just used what we feel when we are trying something new. It could be as simple as you trying to learn swimming to actually learning a new coding language. You will feel the same emotions. You will feel the same kind of tendencies that will I be able to do it well? What if I go wrong in this? What if I do not realize the skill and I do not learn that skill? It's the same everywhere. But why do we fear? Where does this come from? In cyber psychology, I would like to take this opportunity to take you to two concepts that we primarily discuss as a cause of resistance to new technology and innovation. Number one, neophobia. As the name suggests, neophobia is the fear of new things or something unusual, unfamiliar to you. Imagine this scenario. What if right now I told you that today as it is going, but tomorrow when you wake up in the morning, you get this breaking news that everything is being powered by AI. From your interactions, to your job opportunities, to even your friends, everything is being powered by AI. What is your reaction going to be like? Terrified or excited? If you feel a little bit scared, a little bit terrified, it's all right. You are not alone. Because it's a common rooted tendency in us that we tend to feel fear when we are trying something new. And in this case, when we are trying to absorb something, process something so new to us, like AI powering everything, for example, we are bound to get scared We are bound to have many overthinking thoughts that what is going to the future be like? Or what is it going to be like when I'm talking to my friend who is going to interact with me in the form of AI? And this example takes me to neophobia, the fear of something new, something unfamiliar. At times, when we are using a new smartphone, or at times when you're using some new device or technology, you will realize that you tend to have that one feeling over and over again. Is this right? Is this wrong? Is this the best am I doing? Or is this something at my average level? And that reflects your neophobia. Now, this neophobia, where does this come from? It's evolutionary. From the primitive times, if we take a step back to thousands of years back, when we humans used to live in a time where even unpredictable things could be a huge danger for you. Because we were living in dynamic, unpredictable times, where a poisonous plant could be a danger, a bush making a noise, having that animal just there to attack you could be a danger, or even a person who is from another tribe, another human, that could be a danger to you. So from that time onwards to today, fast forward to today's status quo, the same instincts, they persist. The same tendencies of fearing new unknown things persist. Probably because we are fearful of uncertainty. We fear change. We fear coming out of our comfort zone. So even today, when you have something new, something unknown, you have these feelings because it's been rooted within you. It's not something that has happened just right now. That's why neophobia is one of the primitive reasons of you resisting you to having exposure to new technologies and new innovations. But coming to another key concept in cyber psychology, the status quo bias. Has it ever happened with you when you went to a restaurant and you checked out the menu? You checked everything in that okay, there's this, okay, there are these drinks, there are these beverages, there are these menu things, and yet you ordered the same thing. Has it ever happened with you? Please raise your hand. Quite a lot of you. If you have experienced this, my friends, you have experienced status quo bias, which is the comfort, the familiarity. In simple words, if I say it, status quo bias is that tendency to have a preference to have the things as they are, or to just maintain the things the way they have to be, according to you, because you are comfortable within it. You feel happy, you feel at peace, you feel stability at current status quo. But in status quo bias, there is one limitation. At some times, it can actually restrict you to new opportunities. Because it happens that even when you have the exposure to new technologies, new opportunities, new activities, yet you stop yourself to only experience the same set of activities because there is a risk that what if a change happens? What if you come out of your comfort zone? And because of that, you restrict yourself to an amount of stability. And that is a very common thing. Another example of the status quo bias that keeps on taking place, even till date to a certain extent, is digital money versus cash. How many of you use digital money here? Please raise your hands. A lot of you. And how many of you are the constant believers that no, I will only be doing cash? Please raise your hands. Few people. So, what was the point of me asking this? The point is that when digital money emerged, when the concept of online payment emerged, people were very unsure. People were very scared that what if the system fails? What if I'm trying to give my money and it gets stuck somewhere? And how is it going to take place? What if I'm not able to learn how to pay in the online medium? There were many anticipations, many assumptions. People were very scared of it. They took a step back. But gradually, when COVID-19 pandemic emerged, a lot of payments took a turn by turning into online medium. We started approaching the online method of digital payment more convenient and as to something that people were doing more of. And that was the moment, the transition moment, that people started realizing that maybe digital payment can also be a very effective and efficient manner. It's not that all bad. We can also resort to it. Perhaps it's more convenient, it's more better, and sometimes gives you the ease. But that first moment of hesitation, that resistance, that will I be able to use it, or how is it going to operate, that was the status quo bias there. People wanted to stay at ease at first. Even at the time when computers emerged, people had a huge assumption about it that maybe computers are coming into life, so they are going to take over our jobs, they are going to take over our opportunities. And they did not want to use computers as prevalently as we use it in the today's time. But what has happened today? Today, we can see that there are millions and millions of people who have used computers and use them in an efficiently effective manner, and from computers they have transformed into more better and unique technologies. So when we look at technology in that way, it's not bad, it's not good, but it is what we make it. It can't be something that we can only categorize it or define it into one category. It has shades of grey. It can't be black, it can't be white, but it's in the middle. What you make it, what we make it, and how we perceive it, how we perceive technology is what technology is to you. Now that we've understood about why we resist technology, new innovations, we need to understand how can we really embrace it? And when we embrace it, how can we actually adapt to it in a much faster, better manner to our growth and efficiency? Coming to embracing it, in technology, logic is not the only thing. It's not logic and efficiency that runs a technology, but emotions matter too. Whenever you are using any kind of technology, any kind of software, any app, you will realize it is built in a certain manner to cater to the human needs. It's not just built on a very technical basis, because a best technology is not the one which has the best technological formula or has the best technology, but it is the one which is actually serving to the human. It can actually relate with you. It is user friendly. And that's why the only and one of the major effective ways to embrace technology and innovation is emotional intelligence. In cyber psychology, we consider emotional intelligence as one of the critical pillars to assessing technology. Because cyber psychology is not just about understanding how our mind, behavior, and emotions are being impacted by technology, devices, etc., but also what are those root causes that are causing those psychological tendencies. For example, why are we fearing using new technologies? It's because of neophobia, and also another term called tech phobia. These are certain aspects of cyber psychology in which emotional intelligence also lies. Talking about emotional intelligence, you will notice and you will realize in your daily life itself that there is a huge success of virtual assistants. You talk to them, you ask them something, they give you the answer to it. And the reason for their success is not just based on the knowledge they have or based on the kind of interactive element they have, but because you relate with them. They are user friendly. They have that element of human emotions and human behavior in them. They cannot replicate exactly a human, but they can replicate certain elements of it, which contributes a huge success. And that's why emotional intelligence has to be taken into mind when building new technologies, new innovations, designing new technologies. Because when you build a technology which is user-friendly, based on human emotions, helps cater human needs, and at the same time is productive and not harmful, that is when you are leading your way to building a powerful yet a user-friendly technology. Now, coming to how we adapt. Because adapting in this world is the only constant that we need to have. As you must have heard, change is the only constant. We have to foster, we have to enrich ourselves in such a way that we have to adapt to the constant changing world, constant changing technologies, and at the same time realize that what is that one element or two elements I can incorporate in my job, in my profession, in my skill, in my product that can help me change with the world. And for this, I have a very small 4-step framework for you to adapt better with the world today, called the TAPE phenomena or the TAPE framework. TAPE. T stands for train your brain. Your brain is just like a muscle. Your muscle strengthens as you do more of the working out. As you put more pressure, as you put more efforts into it, your muscle builds. You challenge it, right? Similarly, your brain is like a muscle. When you are training your brain to new challenges, to new technologies, to new, new obstacles, and how to overcome those obstacles, your brain is charging more. And you can train your brain in any way possible. It can start as simple as reading a book. If you read just 4 pages per day, you can maybe upgrade to 6 pages per day. And believe me, by the end of the year, you are surely going to have a better brain power. This is one of the ways of training your brain. Number 2, A, which stands for acknowledging your fear. You know, when we are fearful of certain things in life, a lot of us do not accept it at first. We do not even acknowledge it at first. We just let it be. If I'm afraid of XYZ thing today, I am afraid of it, but I might or might not accept it and acknowledge it. But the moment you accept something and the moment you acknowledge your problem, half of your problem is solved. So acknowledge it today. What am I fearful of? Am I fearful of AI taking over my job? Am I fearful of not able to cope up with new technologies? What is it? Acknowledge it and accept it. And once you acknowledge it and accept it, find a solution to it or start working on it. P, which stands for progress. Now, progress and participation is one of the key elements of building a effective and at the same time a user-friendly technology. Change is not enough. To enrich yourself in change, to upgrade yourself in change, you have to participate as well. Participate in making the change happen in a positive way. Maybe you are afraid of AI taking over your job. So maybe take a course on AI today that can help you enrich you in your field with the help of AI. How can AI help you in your field? What is that one thing in that course are you learning that can help you enhance your skill with AI? So instead of focusing on how AI is going to conquer, you're focusing on how AI can help you make effective in your field. And last but not the least, E, expand and engage. It's very important in the current status quo that we expand our mindset, our view with people who are true innovators, design leaders, and thinkers. So be in a world of design leaders, innovators, and user-friendly people.